Welcome to Kino Quickly. I'm your host, Disco, and today I watched Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, also known as Puss in Boots 2. Now, this is a 2022 American computer-animated adventure film produced by DreamWorks Animation and distributed by Universal Pictures. Now, as you may know, this is a sequel to the other spin-off film of the Shrek franchise, Puss in Boots, which came out in 2011, I believe, and was the 6th installment into the Shrek franchise, which would make this the 7th. And I gotta say, this movie is fantastic and really well animated, but it's not without its flaws, and I'm gonna get into some of those. But I want to focus on the positive right now. This is excellently voice acted and animated. It's going to be one of the best animated films, animated family films at least, that we've seen had such a wide release in America in the last, I'd say 5 to 10 years. It's really something to marvel at. But aside from that, this movie does not prominently feature characters we love and know, such as Shrek and Donkey, even though you could argue that they're progenitors to this movie and are sort of integral to this movie in the sense that nobody would really care about this character on his own except for the Shrek connection. So I thought the minimal involvement with Shrek and Donkey in this overall movie's plot and execution was definitely a pitfall when it came to the, sort of creative process of this movie. I think they took a huge misstep by not making this a more Shrek-centric movie, by maybe having Shrek take place in all the major fights in the movie. I think he could really get in there and throw his weight around. We know from many of the DreamWorks spin-off video games that Shrek is an excellent fighter and can hold his own in a fight, as well as within many of the Shrek movies we see him participate in hand-to-hand combat and handle himself quite expertly in that sense. But I think because in Shrek 2 Puss in Boots is able to sort of outmaneuver Shrek, they wanted to focus, they think he's more combat oriented, but really it's because Shrek is he's more of a physical beast. He's more of this physical presence that is, it's sort of this immovable object, where I think if maybe Shrek and Puss in Boots were maybe speed equalized and both bloodlusted, that would be a more even match than what we saw in Shrek 2. And, we never really see, I don't think we'll ever see Puss in Boots sort of overtake Shrek when it comes to physical force or prowess. So, that was sort of upsetting. But I think as a family movie, this is something that everybody's going to be really glad to see. I think everybody's going to really enjoy it. But I think a lot of Shrek fans are going to be a little disappointed by his minimal involvement in the overall film. So because of that, I'm not going to hold it against the movie, even though, my personal opinion, it should be considered for this movie. But I'm still going to give it 2 thumbs up despite that. And I do recommend you see it. I recommend you if you have kids or maybe friends, you don't have to be a kid to see this, but it is appropriate for kids. They're going to really enjoy it. But you can take your friends, family, you can even go alone as a full-grown man to see this movie. And, I recommend that you do that, and I also recommend that you have a nice day.